Right guys, so I wanted to create this video basically explaining what you're expected to see on this channel and kind of a little bit of insight into who I am as a person. So the channel is called Unlucky Sully, but my real name is Shane. I'm 24 and I'm from northwest London, around the Barnet area. So the reason why I created this channel was basically to allow people to go on kind of the same journey as me when it comes to car modifications. So I do random stuff to my car, and I kind of want to show off the stuff that I do, how I progress through that. So if anyone else decides to do any of these mods, that they have something to reference through, and you know, just some insight into what we can do to my car. So also alongside that as well, I go to a lot of car shows, stuff like Jatfest, Mod Nats, and stuff like that. So I'll probably be creating videos when I go to them places as well, see what's there, and obviously see what kind of cars that I like and what maybe I find interesting. Not sure if anyone else will find that interesting, but there you go. So in northwest London, there isn't really any kind of car groups. It's normally around the Essex area and further up north. So hopefully I can maybe organise meets, if we'll say get following, organise some meets, meet other YouTubers or meet other people who show off their cars really, and I can put it on the channel as well. So a little bit about my car. I have a EP3 Honda Civic Type R. It is nicknamed Low because of the number plate, LO3. I bought it around, I bought it 2.5 years ago. It was around 3 grand I think I paid for it, and it had 83,000 miles. Currently I've done 109,000 miles, so I don't know how I've done 30,000 miles in a couple of years. But yeah, hopefully I can, you know, provide some sort of entertainment for people. What I'm going to do now is kind of go around the car and show off what mods I've done and see what you think. Alright, cool. So this is my EP3 Type R. As you can see, it's the pre-facelift model. The main difference that I see, or that I notice between the two, is the front bumper. So the front bumper on the facelift models have like fog lights on the front, and I think it's a little bit lower. But yeah, there's something like 200 different differences between the two. And personally, I can only find about 10. So yeah, let me show you around. So as you can tell, there isn't many exterior mods. The way that I look at it is it's still only an EP3 Type R, so I don't want it looking too ricey. So these are the wheels that came with the car when I bought them. So these, I believe, are Fighter rotor wheels, 17 inch. But as I didn't buy them, I don't 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure. So these are actually quite scruffed up, as you can see. So when I bought it, these are actually the OEM lug nuts that come with them, or nuts. And whoever had it last had these horrible nuts on them, and they were like impossible to get on and off. So as you can see, like in here is all scratched and stuff like that from that, and obviously the curb brush is horrible as well. So behind that, I actually have 15 millimeter spacers, so it kind of makes the car look a lot wider. But the annoying thing is, for some reason the fronts stick out more than the rears. I'm not 100% sure why that is, but that's life. So if we go around to the back now, yeah, for some reason the rain around here is just horrible, and it leaves this kind of dusty thing on it. But there's someone coming, so I'll have to pause quickly. Yeah, as I was saying, there's this kind of dust that comes off with the rain. So normally it's a lot cleaner than this, but I don't know what that is. But anyway, so I've also got a full Tegua full Tegua exhaust system. So you've obviously got the cat back, and you've also got the 4231 manifold. so it's decatted as well. Obviously makes it a lot louder, and it's one of those things that kind of a lot of people do to EP3s. It's like one of the standard things that they do, and it makes the car sound a lot better. What other stuff have I done? I've got a little Dirty South sticker on here. So when I was at university, again, I kind of got into the scene of going to car meets, and Dirty South was the only one that I could find that was kind of, you know, always hosting meets every week. But yeah, let me show you the inside of the car. Oh, not the inside, the bonnet rather. Alright, cool. So as you can see, inside here, not much has changed. You've obviously got the AEM V2 air filter and intake. So normally there's a box coming from around here, and it goes up, and there's just a box in there, and it takes up loads of space, and it's horrible. So I've got this V2 air filter, which is kind of good. So the way it works is you've got a pipe. Well, start from this side. You've got a pipe that it's this thick, goes up to here, and then the inner tube goes up into about here. So apparently it draws in more air. But when I was getting it remapped, and it's remapped by CPL Racing, I believe, who had like the Europe's fastest Honda Civic EP3 from 2005 to 2006. So yeah, he said that obviously it's next to the engine, so there's a lot of heat soak. And that's really it for the inside of it. I'm not sure if you can see, but oh, there you go. That's a good one. So that's the manifold there, exhaust manifold, and that goes down into the bottom side of it. So with the manifold change, you actually needed you need, what's it called, a JDM anti-roll bar for the front. So let me see if I can actually show you that. Yeah, you can't really see it from here, but down there, around there, you've got the JDM anti-roll bar. So as these are European cars built in Swindon, to change over to a JDM exhaust system you need to change the anti-roll bar. So what I did was I obviously did that, and I also got hard racing drop links, and then while I was at it I was like, might as well just do the backs as well. Here you've got the anti-roll bar that I was talking about. So as you can see, it goes back around the car, and then it goes to the drop links, the hard racing ones, and then that fits into the rear control arm suspension. So so the main reason that I've done that was it's actually 1 inch thicker than the standard one. So what that will do is allow you to swing into corners faster, and it will be more stable. Personally, I haven't found any difference, but then again, I'm not swinging around corners, so I wouldn't really know. So yeah, let's have a look inside to see what we've got. Right, cool. So in the inside, what we got? So I've got this gear knob. I changed this because, again, the guy who owned this car just did not treat it well, and he had a really big, horrible gear stick, and it was just awful, and it was all silver and all scratched. So I decided to get this one. So I actually initially got this one in silver first. Again, the same thing happened where it's just got scratches and it wouldn't tie down properly, so I got a black one, and this one just works, so why not. I've got Alpan stereo speakers. Again, when the guy, the last owner of this car, just absolutely butchered it. When we took off the door cards, it was held in by wood, and I don't know what kind of speakers they were. He's also taken the wiring from the back speakers, and he's put it into these tweeters, and what he's done is he's actually destroyed the inside of these. So these are held on by a little clip on the inside, and when I took those off to take the door cards off, it was stuck on by like 4 or 5 layers of sticky tape, and it was just awful. I don't know what he was doing. So I also don't have any sound in the back 2 speakers of my car. Awful. So yeah, back to this. I've got a short shifter, and I've also got these metal bushings that come with it, I guess. So it's kind of a short shifter, and you just ping it onto the bottom of it. Obviously the throw is a lot shorter, it's a lot better. If any of you have EP3 Type Rs, this is one of the best mods that you can do. It completely changes the car. Yeah, so one of my favourite mods. I've got a Pioneer radio. So previously in my old car I had one of the really small crappy ones, wasn't touchscreen or anything like that, and so I decided to get a new one and haven't looked back since. It's got Android Auto, and I can also plug my phone in as well down here. Very useful, very handy. I've got 2 dash cams. I've got one here and I've got one at the back there. I don't know if you can see it right there. And the reason why I got that was I went to the shop one time, and when I came back I noticed that my wing mirror had gone in. Thought that was a bit weird, didn't notice anything. Went home, I looked at my front right wing, and there was a dent in it, and I had scratched the whole side. I went back to the shop to see if they had any CCTV. Nothing, so couldn't do anything for it, unfortunately. It's also got a Walbro fuel pump. It was just one of the standard things you have to do when remapping a car: more fuel, more power. So air intake, fuel, exhaust, biggest 3 things. I would say that the car is stage 1 mapped, or stage 1, but I don't know if you can classify it as that. So I bought the car at 83,000 miles, as I previously said, and I noticed that the clutch wasn't working basically part of the time. So I was driving down the M25, and I got off at my junction, and the car just wouldn't change gear. It wouldn't go into gear at all. I was double clutching it and everything, nothing was working. So we sent into the shop, and the clutch bearing had gone. So the thing that basically initiates the clutch. And yeah, that was awful. That cost like £700 or £800. So what I've done as well is I kind of wanted to show what the car actually sounds like. It being remapped and all, it's going to sound completely different. With the remap, stuff that's changed. So normally on these EP3s, you get into VTEC around 6,000 RPM, and you have a rev limiter of around 8,300. Don't quote me on that, but it's around there. So the guy who remapped my car, he was called Guy rather. He was telling me that obviously EP3 is different. So there's like a window of when the VTEC can come in. So mine comes in at around 4,300. So I was just going through and editing the video, and I noticed that the recording cut out for some reason. I'm not sure if that was because it overheated, my phone overheated, or if my phone ran out of storage. But what I was saying was, with the remap, the rev limiter was raised to 9,000 RPM, and that helps a lot with 0 to 60 times. So I was doing 0 to 60 times around 2 weeks ago, and I think I got it around the 6-second mark, which is quite good. I believe the EP3s from standard are 0 to 60 around 6.8 seconds. And before that, I did a 0 to 60 time before I got any remap, and it was around 7 seconds. So I mean, it's a good 1 second increase. So I also got some suction cups for a GoPro to stick to the side of the car. So I got a couple of shots of what the car sounds like, and hopefully you can hear some pops and bangs. And I think I did a good long pull as well, so you can see what that sounds like. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoyed the montage. See you next time.